Are you thinking about launching your brand this year? Well, would you like to know how to do it creatively, how to do it the right way? This year, right now, is the time to launch a personal brand. Do you already have a brand and you want to scale that brand? Well, stay tuned. We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk a little bit about how do you creatively launch a profitable brand in 2019, because here's the deal, you guys. If you haven't done it yet, I want to tell you that this is going to be a big year for social media.
Dina.
It's going to be the biggest year for those of us that are operating online, and statistics now tell us that by 2020, 2.95 billion people are going to be using social media. So it's kind of crazy how quickly it's growing,
that is
how
crazy.
many more people are coming online. And I know for those of us that go, there's already so many people out there that are teaching this stuff that I want to teach. I want you to know that it's wrong mindset to think about. Let's help you identify what you're all about. Let's help you enhance your conversation, and let's help you get your name out there in 2019.
Yeah, let's get your name out there. Because here's the thing. Whether you know it or not, you have a brand.
Yes.
So if you say, John, I'm ready to scale my brand, I agree with you. If you say, John, I don't have a brand, yes, you do. It's just that your brand is nothing, right? Like, meaning if you are promoting a network marketing business, you have some type of business or something you're selling online, right? You're trying to make money using the interwebs. People are going to Google you. They're going to look you up on Facebook, on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, right? Like, they're going to look you up. And if they find nothing, well, that's not good.
Right.
If they find something, but it's not really edifying you, it's kind of de-edifying you, well, that's not good either.
Yes.
So building a brand is a must.
Right.
And it's something that a lot of people talk about, and a lot of, experts out there are sharing different tips and insights, but we wanted to challenge you for 5 days to really get the clarity on what we think is most important to create that omnipresence, so that people are seeing you everywhere when they think about a certain thing, whatever that thing is, and we'll give you some examples of things. When they think of that thing, they think of you. Right?
I love it.
So if they are really into a certain type of dog or traveling, maybe you build your brand around entrepreneurship, lifestyle. Maybe you're really into horse racing or jousting. I don't know. Whatever your brand is, people think about you when they think about that specific niche. And that's what's
clarity
powerful.
is going to equal power, right? Clarity equals power. I think a lot of times we show up online and we just go in all these different directions, which is okay, right? Because that process has to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to identify, oh, you know what? This topic, yes, it's that sweet spot because I love teaching it and my audience loves it. And then you're going to identify that some things that although you know a lot about, your audience maybe doesn't care, or maybe when you begin to talk about it, you're yawning through your nose because your body is shutting down because it's really not your life's purpose and mission, right?
Yeah, and we'd love to hear in the comments below, what is your brand, or what do you think you want to create a brand around?
Yeah.
Could it be clean eating? Could it be fitness? Like I said, traveling, leadership? Like, what are some of the things you're passionate about?
Okay.
Because I would start there.
Yeah.
And you might say, well, I have a lot of passions. Well, in the beginning, when you first launch a brand, you can test things out. We tested out different topics and things over the years, and some of it just didn't work for us. We were just we didn't enjoy those topics.
Example, although we've built an amazing relationship, right? And we have a great marriage, but we did a couple of videos on marriage tips, and both of us were yawning through our nose, right? They just, some things you have results in, but you are not necessarily gonna wrap your brand around it because you don't have a passion to teach it, right?
Exactly.
Well, the first tip that we have for you is you have to show up in front of the camera consistently.
What if somebody doesn't want to do videos? What would you say to them?
So here's the deal. It's your world and we live in it. So if you don't love video, there's now many other options. I'll give you guys an example, right? For the branding challenge, I didn't want to do videos because, as you know, for us ladies, I think it's different for guys, but for ladies, I mean, it takes a hot second to look like this, right? And you got to make sure that your face is on point.
Takes me a while to look like this.
You got to make sure and if it's two people in the video, it's even more challenging. So audio is way easier for us because when I'm talking on audio, he could be doing whatever. Production wise, it's way easier. So inside the branding challenge, you're going to see something that we're going to really put into work in 2019, and that is creating audio trainings inside the member area. And that's what you could do as well. So audio could be a great option. You could also be doing a photo and then a beautiful caption if you're really good at writing. I just happen to believe that video ultimately is going to be the most kind of fastest route to building your audience, getting the clarity, getting your message out there.
For those of you that want to build online businesses, video is by far the most effective way to do so. But I just need you to understand when it comes to starting off with a brand, I know some of you are uncomfortable. I know some of you are terrified of video, or you say things like, I suck, I stink, I'm not good, I'm horrible at video. I get it, but you know what? That's because you're new to doing video. You will get good at anything you do consistently over time.
Yeah.
So get comfortable with doing videos.
And here's the deal. If it doesn't scare you, then how are you expecting to grow from that? So it's just normal. Now, number 2 is to embrace the concept of being perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
Being perfectly imperfect. I love that because when you really just get on the bandwagon and you get that it's not about you, right? And it's not about you being perfect or having your ducks in a row. That's not what it's all about. I mean, it's a personal brand. What does it mean? That means it's a person and you're looking to showcase the way that you are professionally and personally and doing it in a way that showcases different dimensions of your values and what you're all about, right? And that's what people are going to fall in love with. And what happens is when you embrace that your failures or whenever you're growing and it's uncomfortable, that is where inspiration for other people comes in. When I watch somebody that is so polished and is so good, it's actually demotivating to me. I'm like, I could never be like that perfect and that on point with like every word.
It's discouraging.
You know.
I used to think like, I don't want to speak in front of the room because I have perfectionitis and I want to do it perfectly. And it was really just, I was scared. I had insecurity to go speak in front of other people. I was terrified to go up there and mess up. You know, I would say like, I don't have a great vocabulary. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Like all these stories in my head, and probably some of them were accurate, right? Because I'd never done it. That's how you get good at something. Right. But that perfectionitis is going to crush you because first of all, it holds you back from just doing the work, doing the do. But number 2, it's unrelatable. Nobody can relate to someone that's perfect, right? Like mistakes are relatable, right? Being authentic and transparent. That's why the people you follow right now, whether it's Nadya and I or some other, guru, expert, whatever, whoever you follow, whoever, maybe your favorite author, mentor, podcast, typically they're relatable. Yeah. They talk about their mistakes, their failures. They talk about their life, the good and the bad. Sharing all of that has actually enhanced our brand, not discourage people from learning or following us just because they relate more, right?
Yes.
Makes sense.
I love that. Number 3, listen, don't yell, right? So I think more so than ever now, there is so much value in just showing up and listening. Like if you're going to spend 15 minutes on creating a video or a post, you want to spend the same amount of time at least engaging in the comments, listening to people, especially for those of us that struggle, well, what do I talk about? Or what's my value? Honestly, you just have to initially show up. You have to operate on faith, right? But when you really start to pay attention to what your audience is asking you, then it's really easy, right? Because they're going to start to see, oh my gosh, you know how to do this, or you're really great at that. How did you do it? Yeah. So I think that all of us could get better at listening instead of showing up and, talking.
Yeah.
And tip number 4 for you is be a community builder. Like, what community are you going to build this year?
If you want to generate leads, you want to generate sales, it's easiest to generate leads and sales from a community, right? That was something we started, I want to say 5 years ago. We started building an online community of online entrepreneurs, network marketers.
Thanks for being here.
People wanting to build businesses online, right? They wanted freedom. They wanted lifestyle. They wanted to wake up when they're done sleeping. They wanted to fire their boss. They wanted to build an international business, but without having to leave their home and make the same sacrifices that people used to have to make to build that type of business prior to leveraging the internet to build businesses, right? So we built that type of community because we knew there was people out there just like us that were like-minded, that wanted similar goals achieved. They wanted to go out there and build businesses online. And we were like, we don't really know everything about the online space, but as we're learning, we want to teach it to other people. We want to help elevate other online entrepreneurs that have, again, the same goals that we have. They have the same desire that we have for that freedom. And it's not necessarily something for everyone, right? Because it's a big responsibility if you're going to do it right. But building that online community has been amazing for us. And this is different than building an ATM group. For those of you that are familiar with the ATM system, this is a group that's more geared towards your brand.
And also Facebook's mission statement is to equip its users to build communities. And I want you to think about this as well, right? The concept of going smaller to grow bigger, right?
Love that.
So instead of broadcasting publicly, right, and trying to capture everybody, what if you started a small community and you started to really pour into that community, create opportunities for them, really listen, really pay attention, right? It's going to do wonders for your business. And on side note, I will say this, that building your business, it's not nearly as valuable as building your reputation and your personal brand.
This is true.
Right?
Concur.
Oh my gosh. I really love it.
Character is more important. Reputation is more important. What do people think about when they think of you?
You got to build integrity before you build celebrity, right? You got to build that integrity and you got to stick with it. Now, number 5, here's a tip number 5 for you is, and this is a more advanced tip for sure, but I know some of us that are listening right now, we go, you know what? My business is already doing well and I have cash flow happening. I have extra monies that I can dedicate towards progressing faster because, as you know, cash is a shortcut, right? So you may want to consider in 2019 outsourcing the omnipresence factor, all right? So outsourcing the omnipresence, I think, is a really fun topic to talk about because
it's more advanced, but it's important.
Do want to be everywhere all the time, but you also got to realize that you're only one person. And I will say that most of us entrepreneurs, we suffer from that superhero syndrome. Like we think we could do it all, we can be everywhere. But the truth is, if you want to have a lifestyle, right? You want to have a life around your business, not the other way around, it's going to take more people. It's going to take either systems, it's going to take people to help you get there faster. So for those of us that have access to monies, why not have that shortcut? If you got value from this video, can you let us know in the comments below? We love it. And if you're really ready to elevate your brand and you want those 1, 2, 3s and ABCs and simple, actionable steps to now begin to discover, define, and design your personal brand, then I want to invite you to join us inside our 5-day branding challenge. And you can get all of the details if you go to mylifestyleacademy.com/brand. And John and I are super psyched to help you create that profitable brand this year, right? If you love this video, let us know, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.